Good morning, everyone. Welcome to lesson 2 of our writing activities this week. We are going to be looking at describing a setting today. So grab a pencil or pen, your your writing book, sorry, or a piece of paper, and pause the video so you can get your date and what written down. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is flick back to your vocabulary rule that you had a go at creating yesterday. And we're going to play around with some of the language that we've come up with and see how we're going to use that in today's lesson. So today, we're going to be writing a descriptive piece on our setting that we looked at yesterday. So let's look at some of the key features from the illustration and what you've included in your vocabulary rule. So we're going to use these to focus on our descriptive setting. So these are the key features we will be focusing on: hearing, buildings, people, and smell. So you guys have come up with some language already for each one of these points, and I've come up with some as well, taking some of the words that you guys have shared and some of the ones I've chosen as well. So in the building, some of the language that was sort of coming up, or some of the language we were finding, were words like derelict, abandoned, moss covered. For hearing, we talked about there's lots of um, cars. Someone noticed that there's lots of what looks like animals down here, sort of roaming the streets. So we said the screeching of tires might sound quite intense. Horrific howling. If anyone's ever heard cats or foxes at night time, if they've woken up in the middle of the night to some sometimes horrible sounds coming from outside, that's usually cats and foxes sort of howling and sort of basically shouting. So that they can sound very horrible. And because it's quite a sort of abandoned, derelict, maybe quite a run-down city, we thought there'd be lots of glass around as well. So you would probably hear glass crunching underfoot, the sound of glass shattering. Glass makes for a nice opportunity for a really descriptive sentence, because glass can sort of sound in so many different ways. It can shatter, it can crunch, it can grind, it can scrape. So people, looking at some of our text that we've used, that we've magpied. We sort of talked about tired old faces. So the faces were looking really tired and old. Their eyes looked lifeless, someone said. They almost looked like they were almost zombies. And some of them I thought looked very desperate. And our main character was very desperate because she had to rob the old lady. Now, smells. If you think of a part of the city that you live in, or when you go to the countryside smells nice and fresh and clean. You feel like you can take a deep breath and enjoy everything about it. Well, in a city that's devoid of greenery and nature, it might have a very different effect on you. So we talked about hazardous fumes, one of the words we've looked at recently in our spelling. Nose piercing stench. So the smell of some places feels like it pierces your nose. It's so incredibly intense. It's not a smell I would like. And then completely rotten, dead lake. So we've got a pond, maybe it's gone stagnant, maybe there's a dead fish in there. It's completely rotten, it's very disgusting, and it's not a great smell. So if there's any words on there that you like, or you want to add to yours, or maybe you've thought of another one as I've been talking, now's a chance to update your vocab wall. Don't need to write out a new one, just add to your one that you worked on yesterday, and you can just add them onto the bottom. If you wanted to, you can put the date in the margin to show you these are your new words, but it's entirely up to you. Just add to that vocab wall, ready for the next section. So we're going to be looking at those 4 features, and our descriptive piece is going to only be about a paragraph long. So it's going to be a minimum of 4 sentences, because we want to include each one of those key features. So we're going to use those to focus on our descriptive writing. So can you add any similes to enhance your writing? And what I want you to do in every sentence, I want you to think of a powerful verb, an adverb to describe what the noun is doing as well. So if we look back at our 4 features that we're going to be looking at, buildings, people, hear, and smell, we need to think of a noun, a verb, and an adverb. No, sorry. We need to think of a noun, a powerful verb, and some adjectives to describe what it is we're seeing or feeling. So if I grab my pen out, hopefully it's still got some charge. It has, cool. So can we use some similes? Now, if we want a quick recap on what a simile is when you compare something to something else. So Mr. Lakin is as fast as a cheetah. Probably not at the moment because he doesn't go out very much since lockdown. But you might also say something like, the boy was as smart as a computer when working out times tables. So it's when we compare something to something else by usually using the word like. If you want to use a metaphor, we don't use the word like. We might then end up saying something along the lines of the person's rock hard muscles. So we know his muscles or her muscles aren't made of rocks, but they're so strong and tough that they feel like rocks. So that would be a metaphor. Now let's go back and look at our features again. I'm going to look at, let's go with horrific howling. So I need to think of, can you think of a powerful verb and adverb to describe the noun, what the nouns are doing? So I'm going to use, my feature that I'm going to talk about is hearing. Now remember, you can play around with this to start off with. Don't think about it as writing one sentence out straight away. You can start to build on those sentences by putting all the features in that you want, and then we can add them into the sort of correct format after. So this first one's going to be about hearing. I'm going to choose screeching tires. Okay, so I've got my noun. It's a tire. I can hear it. Now I need to think about, how is this making me feel? If I can hear screeching tires, maybe when I hear something like screeching, it's nails down the blackboard, it makes the hairs on the back of my head, hairs on the back of my neck stand up. It feels like the sound goes through me. Can I think of a better way of saying the sound really goes through me? Well, if something's going through me, it's maybe cutting into me. Right, so screeching tires cut through me. I think of a better word than cut. If I was a doctor, I would probably slice. So slice. So screeching tires slice through me. Now I need to think of an adverb. Screeching tires slice through me. The screeching tires sliced through me at a right. Now I need to think of my adverbs ending in ly. So let's start. The screeching. Now, if you get stuck on some parts and you can't think of an adverb or you can't think of an adjective, start to work on the sentence, because at times starting to build that sentence up to a sort of good written English will help you with that missing part, or it will start to allow you to talk about, or maybe if you've heard this phrase or this clause before, you can start to think, right, I've heard something like that. This is what they've used um, in this example. So sort of put all your ideas down on paper, start to build the sentence up, and then tweak and add if you need to. The screeching tires sliced through my ears as now I'm going to think of a simile now. Now, the screeching tires sliced through my ears as now what things slice ears as easy, as quickly as a surgeon? The screeching tires sliced through my ears as quickly or deadly. The screeching tires sliced through my ears as quickly, as horridly as. Well, I'm going to come back to that. So I'm going to think of an adverb that I need to add in there. The screeching tires sliced through my ears as something. So I think I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to change my pen. I'm going to use some purple because I'm going to improve it. So I don't think I'm going to use as. I'm going to go straight into my simile. And I'm now going to put the screeching tires sliced through my ears like a hot knife. Oops, dodgy spelling, Mr. Lakin. Like a hot knife through butter. Now we all know a hot knife slides through butter very easily and very quickly. And that's how these screeching tires have sliced through my ears like a hot knife through butter. Painful experience, I would imagine. So start building on those ideas, guys. Use your vocabulary wheel to help you. And I can't wait to see what paragraph you come up with. That's just one of mine. So I've ticked off my here part. Then you want to go back and think about the description for your building. Use some of the feelings as well. So when you think about what the people look like or what the buildings look like, use those other senses to help you build a vivid description of your setting. Good luck, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.